All right, welcome back to Breakfast Daily. The show is interactive. We want to hear from you. Kindly use the hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to hear what you're thinking. If you're on Twitter, you can tweet at me at QuickWithDavidGH or Kokui at Kokui_Salome. And WhatsApp line is 0550585832. We do want to hear from you regarding the various conversations that we're going to have today. Now, in the north of the country, northern parts of the country, in Tolon, the SHS there, Tolon SHS, was gutted by fire, and the students have literally lost everything. Everything that they left in their dormitories when they went out for class that day is gone. Let's take a look at this report brought to us by Diana Ingon.
The fire, which began around 9 a.m. on Thursday morning at the Tolon Senior High School girls' dormitory, destroyed students' items like mattresses, chop boxes, books, and other valuable items. The Tolon district, which is about 30 kilometers away from Tamale, has no fire station. As such, it took nearly an hour for the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service to arrive at the scene from Tamale to douse the fire. According to school authorities, the extent of the damage is so huge that accommodation for the students has become a challenge. When City News visited the school, students were seen carrying their belongings and leaving the school. The headmaster of Tolon Senior High School, Mohammed Isifu, spoke to City News.
Well, the belongings of the students in its entirety, together with their beds and then other facilities in the dormitory, were all completely burnt.
And do we know what caused this fire?
For now, we don't know until we get the confirmation from the fire service. It's not that the school has been closed down, but the students have been temporarily requested to go home and then come back within a week. That was taken in consultation with the director, both district and regional, and the municipal chief executive.
Why has this
district chief executive actually?
Why has this become necessary?
Because the dormitory that accommodates the girls, the upper part, has been completely burnt down.
According to the Ghana National Fire Service, preliminary investigations reveal that 2 water heaters which were plugged in triggered the fire. The Northern Regional Acting Public Relations Officer for the Fire Service, Baba Hudu, has been speaking on the incident.
We are not trying to preempt as to what actually caused the fire, but based on our investigation at the spot, we're able to identify certain hints that might have caused the fire. And so that is what we have for now.
And what are these?
Yes, it was heater, just these small heaters. And so it was actually connected to a source of electricity and then totally burned. 2 of them. I have them here with me in the other office. Yes. And so it's obvious that they might have been heating something and then maybe they were asked to go for class and the person forgot.
Okay, so that was a report regarding the Tolon SHS fire. And yeah, from what we're hearing, there could have been a small heater involved, using to, sometimes people use it to boil water,
yeah.
Heat up things.
Yeah.
In school, they used to say things like that were contraband. You couldn't bring certain things to school for reasons like this.
Like this, yeah.
So if it is indeed true, then it begs the question, do they inspect what the kids bring to school? Is it that...
Why do you even allow it in the first place? Why don't you have a central heating area where people can do that?
Or this was it smuggled in? Again, was it contraband? And now this has happened. And also, does the Ghana Education Service have insurance for schools? Like, is there any kind of insurance for if things like this happen to protect the school, the property, the students? I don't know. I wish we could find that out, but somehow I doubt it. But
yeah.
Anyway,
it is an SHS.
Yes.
Which
senior
means
high
that
school.
the kind of things you are allowed to bring It's not like a university.
Not at all. There's a prospectus.
Yeah.
There's a prospectus
So,
that outlines
what you're allowed to
supposed
bring and what you're not allowed to bring. And
I
this
can
is an
assure you
institute,
this is
I
not
don't think
on the
that
list.
a water heater was allowed.
No.
But you see, so I'm wondering, so what does that mean even for the students who brought that in there?
Exactly.
Will we find the person? Because you burnt down an entire school. This is
causing students to
this
be at
is-
home,
yeah,
missing
yeah, yeah,
classes, you know,
yeah.
disrupting the
Yeah.
whole calendar.
you know.
It's a problem.
So I really don't know. So it goes back to management of our systems, our spaces. You know, who oversees what happens in the schools, right?
And you know,
if rules are being broken,
Yeah.
who's making sure that culprits are punished? And you know, at the beginning of the term, when students are coming in, like you asked, who's inspecting what they're bringing? You know, I think it's a very important question. Who's inspecting what they're actually bringing?
And you know, at least when we were in school, there are prefects in every dorm, and they
Yeah.
also go around and conduct
Yeah.
inspection, and things are on their radar, so
Yeah.
they know if somebody has this or that. And then sometimes the prefects themselves are some of the ones
Yeah.
flouting some of the rules
Yeah.
because, you know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
seniors. But this will be interesting to see who knew about this heater, which I'm sure people did.
So what the gentleman there said was that it's possible that when they were going to class, they forgot it. Now here's my thing, Kokui. If someone is using a contraband
Yeah.
and is afraid of getting caught, they will not forget
No,
to take it out.
no.
So it presupposes, without necessarily passing judgment on the situation, that whoever did this had no fear of repercussions. And in the midst of maybe laissez-faire, doing whatever, and suddenly you got to rush to class, you can forget it in there, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm sure
Yeah.
as the more is revealed, we'll learn exactly what took place. But just the effect of this, obviously, the damage caused,
Yeah.
the disruption to the learning in the school.
Yeah.
It's
My
less
greatest
than we need.
concern, though, in all of this is that we'll probably not do any thorough investigation, because it's not a rich company. It's a school, and it's a school in a poorer part of the country. So, who really cares?
Okay,
right?
well, let's see what the update is on this situation. Let's take a look at this report.
I'm currently at the Tolon Senior High School, and as you can see, the school is completely deserted. This follows a fire outbreak which occurred on Thursday at the girls' dormitory, which accommodates about 600 girls. The structure has completely been razed down by the fire incident, and as a result, the school authority has decided to close down the school. I am here at the girls' dormitory, which was affected by the fire incident on Thursday. And around me, I can see debris of destroyed properties of students. And some workers are also here on top of the building trying to take off the affected roof. Looking at the current structure, there are cracks all over and broken pillars due to the impact of the fire. As it stands, it does not appear that this structure can be renovated for students to come in anytime soon. Probably, authorities may consider raising down this structure and putting up a new building to accommodate these students. I have with me a witness who said he was here on that fateful day when the fire began.
I done with last one. A bit one, a tipo, and chair na general tomorrow. Until 2 Saturdays, that then back company to your beginner, sir, 2 hours and stand a first and snabba. Your beginner, sir, 2 hours and then wing in she a year and stand a first and snabba. Until me bahana way I started by me, me one day the about me around her. Not general shah. Now me got me up from my gather. Guided ma. Nti me Johannes general started she sa upon. and if you then when they started, a ball pine.
Mustafa is also a parent, and he shares with us the impact of the fire on his ward.
Mibaro Hamdia Mustafa, one of the firstborn. Or school ha. Ada a Jenny akola ne bafia, one timendi. Dabia waso. Omu nyemani nyina, omu books, bibiashi. Bibi omu dani no, enye classes ni bibia omu da. Adi achi ano omu adware. Omu ayo omu duwe adi. Ako classes, ako tina. Sisi a bibi omu bedani ho. Aifa na omu besada. Nti, epanyemfo yesira mwa. Mumba buaye, Tolon secondary school. Ashi. Sisi a nkola ni nyina wo fie. Obi a ni school no bi. Secondary school na menu ewa district ha. Ba kuno wo Kasuline secondary school. Aba we na first. Ewa. Edi kan. Eba ya sana ba kuno eba. Nti se a wo Kasuline susu ani so ayama. Nti yesira mo aban. Omba boy. Na wo hwema na kola no. Omba chiro mo adie.
We understand a committee has been put together to find alternative accommodation for these students when they return. The public relations officer at the Tolon Education Directorate, who is also a member of the committee, has been speaking to me on the progress of work.
The committee started yesterday and set up by the district chief executive, and then they will be submitting the report by Monday. And so when the report is submitted, I think that they finished their work yesterday, so I believe strongly today they are compiling. So after the compilation, the report will be submitted by 9:30 tomorrow, and when it is done, then we'll be able to speak to the report.
We do know that they said some classrooms will be converted into accommodations and they will be looking at other means of accommodation.
Yes, I don't know, but when the report is submitted, if it is inclusive of some of the classes that are going to be converted, then we take it from there. And I think that there are some other places that are also being looked at. So in all, we have some other places that we believe the students can be made comfortable and they will be staying in it. So our district doesn't have much problems. The DCE has done so well since the beginning, and we are always with him. And then the district director of education, then the regional director of education, all of these people came together to take these decisions, and then we are now working on it, and then we shall be able to present the report by tomorrow, and then we look at the report.
So can you tell us, Tolon is your district. Is there any senior high school apart from the Tolon Senior High School in the
Yes, thank you. We have Tolon Kasulie Senior High School also added. So they are the two senior high schools that we have in the district.
How important is the schools in the district, and with this impact, how is it going to affect?
Very important. If you look at the impact of these, it is affecting only Tolon Senior High for now, and we are aware that for Kasulie Senior High we don't have much problems there. And they are far apart from one another, so we will not be able to take the students to Kasulie to be able to bring them back also to Tolon to learn. So what we are doing currently is that we are so worried about the learning losses of these learners, and the district director of education has also put in place some measures in collaboration with the head teacher. They've put in some measures that we'll be able to use to cover the learning losses that the learners have lost. We're looking at getting a way of increasing the number of lessons, the periods, and then establishing some extra classes so the learners will be able to go through the 1 week that they have lost the lessons, and also The guidance and counseling unit has also been tasked to get ready. When they come back, we'll be able to work on them, the students' psyche. So psychologically, they should be able to work on their minds so that they will be able to concentrate in class.
So that was a report by our colleague Diana Ngon, just updating us on the current situation with Tolon SHS, which, again, the girls' dormitory was gutted by fire. 600 girls, Baby David, because of this, have to sit at home, at least for now.
Yeah.
And even if school resumes, and we're told it could resume end of this week, beginning of next week, where are they going to live? For those who have to travel far to get there, what are they going to do? If the other secondary school in the district is already full and can't accommodate them, what are we going to do to house these girls? That's the next question.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the intervention from the region or national has to be quick. You know, we can't. It's an extraordinary situation. You know, so we can't just take it like that and do business as usual. It needs a quick intervention. I don't know how fast this building. They were saying that it doesn't look like it's something that can be repaired or should be repaired. It may need to be pulled down and rebuilt, but that's also going to take time.
It'll take time.
So I don't know in terms of maybe a shuttle service, have them, stay somewhere else.
Depending
and then come
on how
over to
far
school.
they've come.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say someone comes from outside of the region and is there boarding, what do they do? Do they find another school for that girl to attend? And there's already been so many disruptions to the academic calendar since 2020, with COVID and trying to catch up and green track, gold track and curriculum. And if you're an SH3 student, for instance, and you're preparing for your WASI and you're a boarder, I mean, this kind of stress on top of all of that, it's not good. You can see that father speaking passionately about his daughter and how she's weeping at home because she can't go to school and she doesn't know what's going to happen. And I mean, young people shouldn't have to deal with those stresses, these kinds of stresses. Again, yes, it's an accident in a way, but probably a preventable one from what we're hearing.
I think so.
But look at the devastation it's causing.
I think so. No, it's a tough situation, and I think that our approach to education itself needs to have a revamping, especially because we're looking at schools that are further out, already having several disadvantages from schools that are within cities, and I think that it's a very important thing for us to try as much as possible to put interventions that will allow a leveling of the education space. I think it's critical.
I agree. Okay, we'll be talking to the DCE for Tolon. His name is Husseini Salifu Isifu. Let's see what other updates he can share with us at this time. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Madam.
Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily.
Thank you for having me too.
Okay, so we've been following the story of what's been happening in your district, and we do understand what a trying time this will be for you right now, but we're just interested in knowing a bit more about how to resolve the situation. So currently we know that over 600 girls are affected by this because their dormitory is basically condemned. From where you sit now, what are the immediate plans to rehouse the girls of Tolon SHS?
Thank you, and good morning to you and your listeners. But I'm so much happy you called me this morning because this, I believe, should be a national issue. As you said, the numbers of the girls are very great. That needs immediate attention. So the incident occurred on the meeting that was on Thursday, late 2022. And then immediately we put a MOT together to see how fast this will go. Put some temporary together. Because the results what happened. Most of them, all of them, left to nothing with their school uniform and some symptoms that they were having. So immediately, myself, the regular director, between the board chair in the area, to put our heads together. Then we decided that they should do it from that very day. And we went back on Friday, this coming Friday, so that in the 20th, the following day, Friday, the committee called those concerned in the office, and the committee was formed to see how best we can, by before Friday, they should be able to put temporary arrangements to house them. So I think that the first meeting Saturday and even Sunday, they are submitting their report to me at 10 o'clock this morning. So I'm looking for the effort so that you see, as you know, Tolon is not a very big place. So it's a little bit we have been bigger facilities now we could quickly arrange and housing. So here we're looking at more small pieces putting together to see how they accommodate them. Some of them will be working mainly in 3 months' time, and this needs to start at issue.
Okay, Honorable.
Yeah, you mentioned about housing them. Can you clarify again exactly what the plans are to put them in temporary and then eventually permanent accommodation?
Yeah, because I compared on the headmaster. There are some classes that we intend to, but the arrangement is being the girls are more vulnerable, so we are thinking of, we have something we call a Christian house.
Honorable, yeah, it seems like we're having some technical challenges with your line. We can hardly hear what it is you're saying, but I'm sure. Yeah, but I'm sure we'll fix that and get back to you. Yeah, so Kokui, I mean, I think that it's something that, well, I mean, clearly they are on top of things there. My question is, do they have sufficient funding to make things go quick, because students, they're on a time clock, it's critical.
It's critical.
You can't afford to let them not be in a sound space of mind, especially leading up to major exams, right? Yeah. So, Honorable.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm
Honorable
hearing you.
Isufu.
Yes.
Okay, we can hear.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much for staying with us. And can you clarify again about the accommodation? You mentioned about something your plans to take care of the students.
Yes. Earlier I was saying that we have identified some classrooms, numbering about 10 of them within the school itself.
Okay.
Where we intend moving some of them to. We've also identified a compound house, the assembly bus for staff currently where people are not staying there, about 25 rooms in number.
Okay.
But we also decided that because the girls are more vulnerable, some of the boys will relocate them to that compound house which is in the middle of Tolon town.
Okay.
So that where the boys are occupying, we'll put some of the girls there. The assembly itself have about 3 bungalows that we intend housing some of them. And we also, just close to the school, individuals have got hostels for renting to students. We decided that we'll rent some of those things. And possibly, if we can lay hands on buses that can convey some of them, we'll contact UDS to see if we can get some accommodation there. We are in talks already, so that in the morning buses can bring them to the school for their normal learning activities.
Okay.
So, but I think more has been explored by the committee, and after 10 o'clock, when the report is submitted, we would see where we can also look for possible accommodation to house them.
Honorable, just out of curiosity, you know, I know you're the DEC, you may not know, you may not be aware, but is there any kind of insurance cover at all for any of the schools in your district, or do you know of anything like that where there's insurance that covers the buildings, property, and even the students?
But frankly speaking, I've not been able to find out this. I think this would have been the first thing I should find from the headmaster, so that we will know for sure that the place has been insured.
Okay.
But I think when they come to submit the report, I will still find out from the headmaster.
What are your plans for security? Because the students are no longer going to be in the easy to manage environment. You are spreading them all over the place. What's the plan for security to make sure that the students are safe?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this thing has actually prompted us, and we've made sure that next time something like this has happened, we should be able to contain it as early as possible. So the security personnel around are alert. Even after the incident up to date, when you visit there, you see them around, just to make sure that nothing untoward happened. And in the before I came to, there was already a fire station that was being put up, but uncompleted. When I came, we were able to complete it, handed it over to fire service. But the problem we have now is that we were supposed to have a tender for the station, but because it was still under construction, the regional fire headquarters was using it. So after handing over, we demanded that it should be brought back to Tolon.
Okay.
Later, I was told it has a problem, and it needed about 4,520 Ghana to fix it and bring it, which my assembly provided. But up to now, we've not received the tender. So after this, immediately after this, I've directed the coordinating director to pursue the regional office and then let us have our. Because if it were here, the time it started, at least the first room or after the first room, the district fire should have been able to contain that. Yeah. We call, even myself, I call, other people call. That was just about when the whole thing was about to even finish consuming before the fire service arrived.
All right.
Honorable, I know it's still early days, but any sort of timelines as to when you can rebuild the dormitory?
Well, as you can see from the footings of your reporter, it's a very big project, which is beyond the district assembly. So, the very day the thing happened, that was on Thursday, the 19th, 4 p.m. flight, my MP came down. We conducted him around, and he has also seen what has happened. Immediately, he even called the education minister, informed him about it, and he gone back to Accra yesterday, said they will come and look at possible ways that we can follow to reconstruct the dormitory, even if possible, add more. So for now, that's what I can say.
Okay. Well, we'll keep touching base with you, and I know you'll keep us posted on developments. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you too for having me. I'm so grateful.
All right.
We're grateful as well.
So that was Honorable Hussein Isalifu Isifu,
Yep.
who is the DCE for Tolon District.